초콜릿은 달콤해 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 오렌지는 상큼해 상큼해 상큼해.
Hello, grade 5! Welcome back to our science class. We are now on our final week of our learner's pocket. Our lesson is all about constellation. Identify the star patterns that can be seen during particular times of the year. You have learned in the previous lesson, the moon has 8 phases, namely new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, and waning crescent. The moon goes these 8 phases in 29.5 days. The period it takes for the moon to complete the phases is called months. Do you know that the moon does not produce its own light? The moon only reflects the light coming from the sun, which is one particular example of a star. The sun is an average-sized star. It is the star closest to the earth. That is why we can see it. Now, we will learn more about the stars, particularly the groups of stars that form definite patterns in the sky. Constellation. These are groups of stars that form clear patterns in the sky. The ancient people first observed these groups of stars as outlines of animals and other objects. They found it easier to locate and remember constellations when they tried to find a clear and particular pattern the way a group of stars are engaged. For example, in the northern hemisphere, they have observed a group of stars which they thought looked like a dragon, and so they named this group as Draco. In the southern hemisphere, they noticed a group of stars that seemingly form a cross, and so they called it as Southern Cross. Some of the known constellations and stars. The International Astronomical Union is of the official modern constellations. There are 88 constellations in the list, and many of these were discovered by the ancient Greeks. Major. It resembles a big bear and is the third largest constellation in the night sky. It includes the Big Dipper, which is composed of the 7 stars Alkaid, Alcor, and Mizar, appear as one. Alliot, Megrez, Phecda, Merak, and Dub. Ursa Minor. It is a little bear containing a group of stars known as the Little Dipper. The handle of the Dipper serves as the little bear's tail, and the Dipper's cup is the bear's thigh. The most famous star in the Ursa Minor is the Polaris. Polaris is called as the North Star. Some constellations are named after Greek mythology legends. 2 of them are Cassiopeia the Queen and Orion the Hunter. So we have Cassiopeia. It consists of 5 stars that seem to form the letter W. It represents the Queen Cassiopeia of the mythical kingdom of Ethiopia. Orion. It is one of the most recognizable constellations in the night sky and is visible throughout the world. 3 of its stars form its belt. Orion's belt is also an asterism. On Orion's right shoulder is a red supergiant star called Betelgeuse. A bluish-white star called Rigel is found on Orion's left knee. The polar constellation. There are some constellations that can be seen only during certain seasons of the year. These are called northern polar constellations and south polar constellations. The constellations nearest the center of the Earth can be seen throughout the year. The people living in the northern hemisphere see constellations different from those living in the southern hemisphere. North Polar Constellation. Some of the North Polar constellations include the following: Cassiopeia, Cepheus, Ursa Major, and Ursa Minor. Cepheus. Cepheus is the 27th constellation in the northern sky. It is faint, but its definite shape makes it easy to locate if you look in the north on August and September evenings. South Polar Constellation. Some of the South Polar constellations include the following: Carina, Centaurus, and Crux. Carina constellation is located in the southern sky. Carina used to be part of the much larger constellation Argo Navis, along with the constellations Puppis and Vela. The constellation represented the mythical ship Argo. Centaurus. Centaurus is one of the largest constellations in the southern sky. It represents the centaur, the half-man, half-horse creature in Greek mythology. Centaurus contains two of the top 10 brightest stars in the sky, Alpha Centauri and Beta Centauri. Crux. The constellation Crux, or the Cross, is a constellation centered on four stars in the southern sky in a bright portion of the Milky Way. It is among the most easily distinguished constellations. The brilliant cross is formed by the bright stars, making it one of the most familiar sights to southern hemisphere observers. Usefulness of constellations. Since ancient times, constellations are always helpful to people. They use the appearance of certain stars to forecast the weather. When stars are visible, they expect fair weather. But when the stars are hidden behind the clouds, the next day may be cloudy or rainy. Constellations are helpful to navigators too. Navigators use their knowledge in constellations in the conduct of their work. When they lost at sea, they refer to Polaris, which is in Ursa Minor. They use Polaris as their guiding star. Polaris is a fixed star. It is located at the north. By using Polaris as guide, it is easy to find southeast and west directions. So here we have North Polar constellation consists of Cassiopeia, Cepheus, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor. South Polar constellation consists of Carina, Centaurus, and Crux. So after all our discussions, I think you are now ready to answer the Learning Task 3. Learning Task 1 and 2 are answerable by you. So we have Learning Task 3. Identify each constellation that can be seen at a particular time of the year. On the box provided before the number or below the number, draw a heart eyes emoji if it is a North Polar constellation, and wow emoji if it is a South Polar constellation. So we have the first one is Crux. Second one, third one, fourth one, and until fifth. So write your answer inside the boxes. Next, we have Learning Task 5. On the space provided, write true if the statement is correct and false if not. Read it carefully from number 1 to 5, then write your answer on the blank. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something in our lesson. Bye, till next time.
Don't be that, don't be